Story 1, AITA for telling my wife that she needs to get over me missing the birth of our daughter. I work in a job where there are certain times that I do not have access to my phone or I am in the middle of nowhere. These times are well scheduled in advance and basically take up my whole day. There are a ton safety regulations I have to follow during this time. My wife was pregnant and at the time I planned to take off work near her due date. Unfortunately, she went into labor early, about a month early, and I was on an inspection. I only learned about her going into labor when I got signal again. By the time I got to the hospital, she has already given birth. This was about 1.5 years ago and I am involved father. The issue is every single time we have an argument she will bring up I missed the birth. It happens almost every single time, forms serious arguments to what fast food should we get. Today was my breaking point. We got into an argument about her wanting to change the daycare situation. She wants to change daycare to one closer to the home. I do drop off and she does pick up. The only one closer to our home is too expensive and we cannot afford it. In the middle of the argument she pulled out I wasn't there for the birth again. I told her she needs to get over that and stop using it in every fucking argument we have. She called me a jerk and left. AITA Kurtz April 4 says, it's on the kid for coming out a month early. Skyking THR Great says, NTA, but I wouldn't have brought it up at that moment, during the heat of an argument. I would wait till after things cooled down and talk to her and say how hurtful it is that she keeps bringing that up and that she knows that you had no control over it. If she keeps trying to use it against you, that'd be a more serious conversation. Edit for clarity, because apparently some people think him gleefully defending the wife here. I wanted to edit to say 1. My comment was before the op clarified that he had already had this discussion with the wife before and it has continued in 2. I speak from experience when I say to wait after things have cooled down before speaking. This is why many of y'all can't have functioning relationships, because you immediately jump to hellfire. With that said, especially because of the added info from the op, I definitely don't blame the op for snapping, but obviously heating conversations will never resolve anything. As I said in another comment down below early on, the op doesn't deserve the resentment from the wife, and I agree with many people that she needs therapy. Only the op and wife can decide what to do from here, and hopefully, for the sake of the kid, can find a resolution that will leave neither with hurt feelings. Shut Up Morrisif says, have you thought about couples therapy? She has unresolved anger towards you. I think you need a professional to sort this out. Story 2, AITA for failing to take care of my sister's dog while she was in labor. I'm 21F, and my older sister 25F. And I have always been close, but we tend to clash because she's a perfectionist and gets hostile when things don't go her way. One night, she called to say she was going into labor and asked me to watch her puppy. I agreed, and she gave me detailed instructions, including putting the dog in a safety harness when taking him outside. Later, I took the dog out and brought him back in, but I hadn't fully taken off his harness when he ran toward the living room where my mom was on FaceTime with my sister's boyfriend. I finished taking the harness off, but minutes later, I got angry texts from my sister accusing me of mistreating her dog because he was still in the harness for a few extra minutes. Her boyfriend had seen it on the FaceTime call and told her. She then called, yelling that I was lazy and unreliable, and told me and my mom to leave her house immediately. She even said we wouldn't meet the baby until we earned her trust back. At 2 a.m., we left, and I asked her boyfriend what was going on when he arrived. He just brushed me off, saying, "We're having a kid, you don't get an explanation." I spent the night comforting my mom, who was really upset, thinking she might not see her grandchild. The next day, my sister called to apologize and blamed her reaction on stress and hormones. She invited us over to meet the baby, so we went. The visit was fine, but afterward, she asked why I seemed quiet. I calmly told her how hurt I was after being kicked out, insulted, and threatened. I explained that the situation left a lasting negative memory for everyone. Her boyfriend missed moments at the hospital, my mom was devastated, and now her in-laws probably think we can't handle helping her. I just wanted her to acknowledge my feelings. Instead, she got defensive again, saying she stood by everything she said and that I was disgusting for trying to put a dark cloud over her baby's birth. She then asked me to leave, which I did. We haven't spoken since, and while I understand she's under a lot of stress, I'm left wondering if I'm wrong for wanting my feelings to be acknowledged. Not this again. 234 says, NTA. Don't let her institute a norm where she gets to use you as a punching bag and you just pretend it's okay because reasons. It's absolutely not okay. I don't buy that having a kid is a free ticket to be an asshole without consequences. If momentary stress causes an unfortunate outburst, there is a remedy for that: a sincere apology and assurance that it won't happen again. If you don't get that, I'd keep my distance if I were you. It's not difficult to predict what you are going to be subjected to if she is allowed to get away with this behavior. Clydebrook88 says, her boyfriend had seen it on the FaceTime call and told her, why would somebody bother a woman who is giving birth with such trivia? I suspect the boyfriend is trying to isolate her from her family. Seagoat Gamer Girl says, your sister is delusional and I can't help but laugh at this, maybe because of my own experience. I got admitted to the hospital at 30 weeks pregnant. My kidneys were failing, liver failing, blood pressure was 298,199, and my vision was going black. Doc said time to get baby out now. Emergency C-section cause I have spine issues and they didn't trust an epidural. When I woke up, my mom was on the phone with my husband. He was trying to be discreet but I knew something was up. So he handed me the phone. I had 2 dogs. One was scheduled to get fixed the same day I had the baby. As my parents were taking her to the vet, my other dog knew something was wrong. She dug out of the backyard. She had never done this before. She was missed for the first 48 hours. My kiddo was alive and I found out about it as soon as I woke from surgery. She was later turned into the local shelter and we got her back before I even left the hospital. Doc said I was too sick to see my brand new baby on the day of his birth and I only got pictures from everyone that was able to see him in the NICU. On top of that, I only have one good vein which was used for the 4th and they kept having to do some tests that took blood, resulting in poking me many places trying to find a good vein. This was done every 2 hours. When they came to get blood they also had to cut my finger to get 10 drops of blood in a vial for another test. I was literally a pincushion. I was devastated with everything piled on. I never once blamed my parents for losing my dog or blamed anyone for anything for that matter. I knew emotions were high and just cried. The lab even messed up. They took my blood, then about 20 minutes later they sent another text saying it was time again. I said, already? They just took it 20 minutes ago? I let him take it again but just cried. Apparently he told the doc and doc finally said, you're clear to go see baby. I met him 25 hours after birth. Everything was fine. But I never yelled or freaked out on anyone. I guess that's why freaking out about a dog having a harness on for 2 extra minutes than usual is freaking hilarious to me. I know everyone has different breaking points and reactions, but that was a major overreaction. Thanks for watching. I love you. Follow Reddit Echoes for more.